And hello fellow Techers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks. And today you're gonna watch this game in a Conqueror during the True Vision test number 2. But we're not gonna focus on the game today. We're gonna focus on something a bit different. And what we're gonna talk about is what's been going on behind the scenes a little bit. What's been happening in Spaceland? Yeah. So over the last little while, I've been trying to contact Wargaming, believe it or not. I was trying to get in touch with someone that I can have, some sort of contact, a discussion about what's been going on with the game. And I wanted to see if I can, at least have a little bit of input. I know I've been posting some videos on my channel. Some of them may be a bit negative. Some of them asking Wargaming questions, but I really never had direct contact with Wargaming on any of the stuff that I've been posting. I was just hoping that someone would watch my channel and hopefully draw their own conclusions, potentially get some feedback out of my videos that I've been making in the past. But I don't know whether that's been happening or not. Regardless, I've been trying to reach out to Wargaming and I've been going through their LinkedIn page trying to figure out who I can contact, so on and so forth. But just recently, I found out that we do have a brand new community manager with gamer tag MintoVimto. Yes, so Raybot apparently has stepped down, either stepped down or has been replaced. I'm not sure what the story there is, but we do have a new community manager. So what I did was I looked him up on Twitter and I did reach out to him and I started following him, after which I actually get a message from him, which was quite surprising and heartwarming, to be honest. It seems like he's an open-minded kind of fellow and he wants to reach out to the community and try to bridge the gaps instead of burning bridges. I mean, going forward, I think that's exactly what we should try to do. Looking at the state of the game and seeing what's been happening with players leaving, players complaining. I mean, Wargaming just introduced crossplay. This game should thrive right now. But it seems like the game is heading in the wrong direction, and that's not really good. The queues are not full. The server population is supposed to be higher, but at the times that I'm playing and I'm on, I don't see that as happening. I think the time has come that we really need to reach out and start working together on some of these things. And I'm hoping this is going to be a fresh start, and I'm hoping that we're actually going to have some say into what's happening in the game. I'm not promising anything at this point in time because it's just a start, and when I have my first discussion with MintoVimto, I'm gonna try to see where he's coming from and where Wargaming is going with this game and what should we expect going forward, right? I'm hoping to have that kind of discussion at some point in time. But let me just give you a brief read of what he wrote to me after I followed him on Twitter. He said, "I have legit been trying to get in touch with you for a good few months now. I love your YouTube channel," which was quite surprising to me, and thank you very much, MintoVimto. I really appreciate the fact that you responded, because in previous past, I think I did try to contact Raybot at one point via Twitter, but I don't think she ever responded, but regardless. So thank you for actually responding to me. I was actually going to send you a message anyway, but thanks for responding. So I basically said, thanks a lot, mate, much appreciated. I never really reached out to anyone at Wargaming earlier, or except when I reached out to Raybot once, but it was just a one message. I never really talked to anyone else. I've been stuck in my own bubble with my community. That's what I said to him. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi, and hopefully maybe I can have a small voice in the community. And with you holding the reins, I hope it will give us all a fresh start. And I said, cheers. And then he replied saying, definitely, I'm trying to reunite the communities. And Chopper Mayer introduced me to your YouTube channel. And so you have indeed built your own community there. Now, I don't know Chopper Mayer, so shout outs to him for suggesting my channel to Minto. Then he goes on saying, I would love to keep in touch with you and see if I can support you further in the future. So we'll see what will develop going forward. But just taking this message, it seems like a different vibe. It seems like, just reading from it, it looks like he's trying to unite the communities and try to get everyone on the same page. And I think that's a good start, because at this point I think community is kind of torn apart. When you think about it, everyone does their own thing, and that's maybe not the way things should be. We should be maybe sticking more together, trying to figure out how to make this game better going forward. What can we do to improve the game? how can we keep it going for the next 5 or 10 years? I mean, I don't see why not. You see World of Tanks PC just hit 10-year anniversary not that long ago, so it is possible. So I don't see why not, and there's a lot of people in the community that completely love this game. So I don't see why it cannot last another 5 or 10 years even, to be honest. I'm sure if we can put our minds together, we can get something going and make this game a better place and possibly address the issues that community has been raging about, right, over the last little while. So we'll see where it goes. I just wanted to give you a little tidbit of what's been going on lately. And I haven't really spoken openly about this in my videos. In my videos, guys, I like to focus mostly on the game itself. Try to educate new players, try to show them what I do on certain maps, what strategies I employ, that sort of thing. You know, provide more of a educational content to you guys. But I never really talk about things that are going on behind the scenes. So I thought maybe it was time that, you know, I should at least mention what I've been trying to do. Regardless, let's see where it goes. But the fact that Wargaming is reaching out and they're trying to talk and they show openness in order to communicate, I think that's a great start. And I think we need to embrace it, and we need to, you know, get together as a community and see if we can make it work, right? I mean, it didn't work for the longest time, but maybe this is the breakthrough. Maybe this is a fresh start that we actually needed in order to get this going. So I'm looking forward to talking to Minto. I know he also reached out to Clone Guy because I've seen it on his channel. So this is great. He's reaching out to all the YouTubers, I guess all the members of the community. I think it's a great fresh start, and that's the way we need to look at it. But let's be patient. Let's not push this. Let's try to figure out where this goes and whether we can have a small voice in the community. On a side note, I didn't play much during the True Vision test days. Unfortunately, I was busy and I couldn't really get on. Well, I did get on Thursday for a little bit, but not very long time. Actually, I didn't even know that the True Vision test was on, but I did get on for maybe a couple hours. And then I did also get on Monday for about an hour, and I played a few games, that game and a Conqueror. I also played some games in light tanks just to see what the camel's all about. And I will present the game later this week from Freddy, FMB, in his ELC or Vanguard, just so we can have some laps and show you guys what was going on. And some of the gameplay he sent me was freaking hilarious. Things driving by him like 2 or 3 meters away and they couldn't spot him. That's crazy. But I'll show you that video. He had a spectacular game during that time. And that's the true meaning of passive scouting, to be honest. We'll talk about it in that video. Because what that video reminded me a little bit of was what's happening on PC. I mean, I played on PC occasionally. I haven't played lately at all, but in the past I did play occasionally on PC. And obviously the camo seems to be a lot different on PC than it is on console, and I always thought it was because of the bushes and bush mechanics and foliage. But maybe the camo values on PC are slightly different than they are on console. Or maybe console just doesn't have enough of bushes, and maybe the camo values need to be changed slightly in order to compensate for that. But that's what it reminded me of, because on PC you can sit in a bush in a light tank and tanks can come close to you and they won't spot you. So maybe this is something worth exploring in the future. I know that a lot of people didn't like it. I know Clone didn't like it either, but to be honest, I didn't mind it at all. I mean, I'd rather be shooting at light tanks than being hit by Arty for 1000 HP or full HP for that matter. And one thing that I noticed during the 2 hours that I played, I know it's not a big sample size, but still 2 hours is 2 hours. I didn't see a lot of Arty in game. Max, I saw maybe a couple of Artys in one of my games. And that's because there was so many light tanks in queue. So I don't know if it's necessarily bad. As far as True Vision test goes, that's a little bit to be debated about. I'm not sure because it will change the meta completely with respect to what it was. So I'm not sure if I would be completely for it. It's much more difficult to play, to be honest. In some cases it's easier, in some cases it's more difficult. If you know the maps well, it will be easier for you, even if you have a tank with a very poor crew. But if you don't know the maps that well, then yeah, I don't know if it's working into your advantage, to be honest. And it causes the entire team to definitely camp more, and that's what I did in this game. As you notice, I camped the entire time almost in this game, just because I knew that True Vision was on and I didn't know what my team was gonna do, right? I mean, you're changing such a big thing in a game, you don't know how player base is going to react to that change. That's why it makes everyone play slightly bit more passive, I would assume, especially on bigger maps. Another thing that I noticed was that I actually seen a few older players back in the game. And one in particular was Steel Titan from old Immortals clan. He was in the game with me and I just couldn't believe it because I haven't seen the guy in like forever. Like, he has his own YouTube channel as well, and I subscribed to his channel probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And he was a spectacular player at the time, and it seems like nothing really changed because the game I was in with him, he actually managed to put up 8,000 damage. So nothing's really changed, but it was so nice to see someone like that on my team, especially since I haven't seen him in like forever. So it looks like there is potential for older players to come back into the game. We just need to make changes, that's all. Just need to make sure the game is better, it's more enjoyable for everyone, and we can definitely make it great again. Now, one thing that I mentioned in some of my videos in the past, this game is a little bit different than any of the other games that are out there. This game is generational game. This game is played by 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, believe it or not. Yes, the age groups that play this game are all over the map. All over the map. And that's what makes this game great. Because these are people that are more serious. These are people that have money in many cases. Now, I don't even want to say how much money I dipped into this game over the years that I've played. But I'm sure there is a way to make it work because it has such a big appeal. The game has such a big appeal, and there isn't really any competition out there to compete with this game. So I'm sure there is a way to do it. The question is how, and hopefully a new community manager will be able to help us with that. Anyway, I've rambled for way too long here. Let's at least talk quickly about True Vision and what happened at the end of the game here. So as you can see, the game is really close, really close, and it's actually going to come down to 2v2, and unfortunately I'm going to throw my tank away, boys and girls, and I'm going to explain you why. So first of all, I have no sixth sense in my Conqueror. I actually have only one crew skill. It's a snakebite skill, I think. That's the only skill I have, and I've already 2-marked the Conqueror just with that. Now, I tunnel vision a bit here, and the reason why, and I blame True Vision. The reason I tunnel vision because I'm actually looking for tanks instead of paying attention to the map. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I actually spotted this E4 on my left side a little bit too late, and I realized that he's there. Now here I was 100% sure he doesn't have a shot at me, and I don't know, he had very narrow space to put this in, and he did manage to put this in, and unfortunately my medium tank didn't cover me. And what I was doing there is I was trying to see if Leopard actually has shots at me, and I was already in a bad position. But basically what happened here is, instead of paying attention to the map, I was paying attention to the area where my friendlies were clicking on, because I was looking for E4 not being spotted. That's exactly what I was doing. And instead of paying attention to the map, I paid attention to just trying to find him somewhere, you know, in bushes, on top of the hill or whatever. And that's what kind of detracted me. So those are things that you have to pay attention to going forward with True Vision. You have to be careful not to tunnel vision, because I had an awesome game going. This was absolutely fantastic game, and at this point I thought I threw the game for the team. I thought I threw the game, and I thought we're gonna lose this. What I should have done, I shouldn't have cut through the middle. That's first thing. The reason I cut through the middle was because I thought that the tank destroyer, the E4, is at D8, because that's where my team was clicking. So I thought he's there, and I didn't think he was gonna move, but he did. Then I was paying attention to bushes, I was paying attention to the hill instead of paying attention to the map. But what I should have done is I should have taken one lane, and then I would have caught him, because he actually started moving up north, right? And he caught me, unfortunately, in the no man's land, and he took me out. But anyway, let's see if our friendlies can finish this game right now, because it's so close. Take a look how close this is. This is going to be crazy. So Leopard is still in his spot wherever he was from the beginning. He didn't move. The problem is our light tank is a one-shot, so he cannot really overcommit, because If Leopard shoots down our light tank, we're gonna lose this game, definitely. At this point, what our team wants to do is take the Leopard out. If they can take the Leopard out, we're gonna win this based on numbers, regardless of what E4's HP is. And E4 cleaned up, like he killed me, he killed the other medium tank, right? So let's see what happens here right now. Leopard's in a dip, our light tank comes up. Can our IS-4 put the shot into this guy? Yes, he can, and he takes him out of the game. And what's gonna happen? Yes, he's gonna get a friendly bump from the light tank, who had a very spectacular game. Guys, during the 2 hours that I played on Monday, shit you not, I had at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 games like this. The games were so close. So many good players were back in the game. I was really surprised and impressed. It was fun. It was really fun. Not too many arties in play as well. So it was quite nice. Anyway, we had a nice juicy game. It could have been so much better. We finished with 5.9k damage. As a bottom tier, we finished on top of the team. But look at the Sheridan, 6,000 damage. On the opposing team, E4 had 6,000 damage. Conqueror had 5k damage. So fantastic. We fired 27 shells. We had 23 direct hits and 16 penetrations. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Give a big shout out to MintoVimto in the comments section. Let's welcome him to the community, and let's hope things will turn for the better going forward. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking. Space Bandit, checking out.